And if I told you once, I ain't gonna tell you twice. Salute all my real ones. Yeah. Look, bro, we got how Kanye West's Yeezy could shave the gap. I mean, it already started right when he dropped that blue bubble with no zippers. Like, it sold out right away. So, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen, basically. We gonna get straight into the video, man. Like button, subscribe button, notification bell, press those. Let's go.
Yeezy Gap.
Yeezy Gap.
Yeezy.
Yeezy.
Yeezy. This bright blue puffer jacket is the first item to drop from the Yeezy Gap collection. The $200 coat was released for pre-sale on June 8th, 2021, which was also Kanye West's 44th birthday. While the blue puffer won't ship until fall 2021, and the black and red colorways won't ship until even later, they've already made their way to reseller sites like StockX and Grailed for nearly 3 times as much. West says the deal made a huge impact on his finances, telling Joe Rogan,
My net worth went from $3.3 billion to $5 billion, and I've been asking the people around me to run the story. They never ran it.
Analysts estimate that the Gap will generate nearly $1 billion in incremental sales in 2022. And the Gap is betting on Kanye West's influence to revive the brand, which has been struggling to stay relevant in a world of fast fashion and hype beasts.
When I put on a pair of Yeezys, in particular, one of his latest silhouettes, I felt like Ye walking out of the limo in the Paris Fashion Week. I just felt like a superstar.
Here's how Kanye West could save the Gap in his quest to take over mainstream fashion. This is Suddenly Obsessed.
I always saw the Gap as like being the Apple of apparel. And I always had clothes that were kind of chill, like they could be at the Gap. They were not overly fashionable.
What?
I mean, so can I agree or disagree with that? I mean, I know when they used to take me to the Gap, I know the store itself, like the decor looked, you know what I'm saying? Like it looked different from a lot of stores, but the clothes themselves, I never looked at it like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like the Apple, because, you know what I'm saying? Apple's a premium product. I never thought of the Gap as premium. Never thought of Old Navy as premium. Like when I was a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? What was popping was like the Jabos, the Inichis, Sean Johns, the True Religions, stuff like that. Like that was premium. Gap was like more like if you had a car, it was like the Toyota, you know what I'm saying? Like a Honda, like something reliable, something cheap, you know what I'm saying? You look alright in them, but that's it.
West always dreamed of making it big in the fashion world, but was met with severe criticism by industry insiders.
People in the industry were very much so like, who is this rapper? Like, who is this rapper like trying to be in fashion?
In 2009, he stunned the fashion world with the Air Yeezy 1, designed in collaboration with Nike. The line of shoes were mocked by critics, but coveted by sneakerheads. The Air Yeezy 2 Red October was released in 2014.
Yeah, I really do hope that Nike retros, the Red Octobers and the black ones with the gold, I mean not the gold, with the glow in the dark bottoms, because, you know what I'm saying, I never was able to get my hands on them. And you can only imagine that the soles are starting to crumble now, like, but a fresh pair of those, like, I really do hope Nike retros them one day, word, because, like, I know when these drop, I ain't know what all the hype was about, word.
14. The shoe has become one of the hottest sneakers in history. A pair in size 9 hovers around $15,000 on StockX. After just 4 years, West left Nike for Adidas to launch what would become a wildly popular footwear line.
Nike messed up on that one because they had Ye on the roster, and, you know, because they wasn't struggling when he joined them, they thought, all right, cool, like, we know you want more money, this, that, the third, but we don't need you. And they created a monster, because by himself, like it or not, by himself, he resurrected Adidas. Word.
I think everyone kind of looks at him as this visionary and ahead of the wave. And you've seen, you know, kind of what he's done with Kardashians and, you know, their own personal style and just really be spearheading trends. The biker shorts, those are back, and the dad sneakers, and then now the dad cap. And it's like all these different things that you see being integrated into these brands who may have not really thought of it otherwise. And I think it's respected now.
While Kanye West was becoming a household name, the Gap was fading into irrelevance. But Gap was a staple in the fashion industry in the 90s, known for its preppy yet casual aesthetic, which included khakis, button-down shirts, and the famous Gap logo sweatshirt.
So growing up in the 90s, I always remember that Gap was a cool brand. What stood out to me was the old school commercials that they had with LL Cool J. But in recent years, you know, I really haven't even checked for anything Gap related.
If you look at Gap sales, you know, they over the past 10 years have declined enormously. The group has been on a continuous slide in terms of sales and market share.
Declining sales led to legal troubles. Gap is facing multiple lawsuits over unpaid rent. And in October 2020, Gap Inc. announced the closure of up to 30% of its stores in North America by 2024. CEO Sonia Singhal hopes to take the Gap to the next level.
I've always said Gap is one of the most iconic brands in the world. If we're going to have product, it's going to be beautiful, modern design, well executed, great quality, great fit. And if we're going to do partnerships, they're going to be big ones.
Details on how much West will earn from the Gap have not been disclosed. Gap has been so secretive, retail analysts won't even venture a guess. Sorry not to be more help, one said in an email.
We do know that this is a 10-year agreement between Kanye West and Gap.
I mean, you gotta imagine that whatever the agreement is, it's definitely with Kanye having all the leverage. Because if you just think about you think about Yeezy, you think about Gap, like one's up here, one's down there, like, you know what I'm saying? And Yeezy has all the leverage, like they're the ones on the downslide, not him. So if he decided, plus like if y'all know Kanye's history, when he was younger, he used to work at the Gap, and he has a love-hate relationship with the Gap. Obviously, it's love again, but you got to assume that whatever the connection is, whatever the profit cuts are, it's definitely to his favor. Word.
And Kanye West is supposed to receive royalties and fees based on how much product is ultimately sold.
Gap's former CEO, Mickey Drexler, advised West not to do the deal because, simply put, Gap is too corporate. But the jacket drove $7 million in sales in one night, as reported by Yahoo Finance. And this intense interest in the coat is a big deal for the legacy brand. Kanye West fans will recognize how his deal with the Gap is a callback to his teenage years.
Right.
At age 16, he worked at a Gap in Chicago selling clothes, and he even rapped about it in the song Spaceship from his 2004 album, The College Dropout.
Let's go back to the Gap.
West often speaks out about growing up poor. He credits his childhood dream of owning a pair of Jordans with his desire to create affordable designs for the masses.
When I was in 4th grade, I was drawing Jordans. When my mama couldn't afford them, I was drawing those Jordans. Getting kicked out of class for drawing them.
The Yeezy Gap line will be more expensive than traditional Gap items, but not extraordinarily so.
We're not talking about the luxury segment of the market where you would walk into a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci.
A full-price Gap overcoat costs $228. Global data retail analyst Neil Saunders says the Yeezy Gap line items could range from $25 to $200.
What I think we will also see, which is a very big difference to Gap, is I think we'll see a lot being sold through at full price.
It will be interesting to watch if you do see some of those consumers, maybe more lower income consumers. I'm
letting y'all know now, whatever hope people got of being able to get their hands on this stuff, y'all really keep knocking on this goddamn green screen. Whatever hope people got of being able to pull up at a Gap and just buy whatever Yeezy brand stuff is over with. Like, they gon' all the resellers, those goddamn resellers, is gonna pull up. They gonna scoop all that stuff, and you're gonna see all that Yeezy Gap shit on sale on StockX, and you're gonna have to pay resale price like with everything else.
That weren't able to afford some of those products in the past now have the opportunity to do so with this Gap line. For Gap, it's certainly a way for it to boost its image a bit by partnering with such a big celebrity and a big name in the entertainment world.
Collabs with high-profile celebrities are nothing new. Travis Scott earns an estimated $10 million per year from Nike. Analysts predict the Yeezy Gap partnership will do extremely well, and initial fan reactions have been positive across social media.
I feel like Kanye West was one of the first true influencers in that people just liked the way he dressed, they thought he had good taste, and just wanted to look like him.
According to Wells Fargo, Yeezy Gap could rake in nearly $1 billion in sales in the first year. But the core Gap offerings could remain stagnant, and that may spell trouble for the retailer, while the Yeezy line gets all of the hype and drives the retailers.
So I mean, the obvious solution is that y'all gotta, if you're gonna bring in something fresh and different, you can't sell that fresh and different thing and then everything else that has only the Gap brand on it stay the same old same. Like, y'all gotta change with the times and change with it. You know what I'm saying? Freshen up. Like, it's pretty simple.
Sales.
Now, what's important to understand with that is that with Nike and with Adidas, Kanye did have a very positive effect and still does have a positive effect with Adidas. But the sales that he generates in volume terms are a relatively small proportion of those businesses. So in some ways, Kanye and his designs and Yeezy are the icing on the cake. They're the kind of bit that makes people go, ooh, this is interesting. And they become very successful lines in their own right, but the core brands are actually working in the first place.
The Gap intentionally kept the Yeezy line distinct from its traditional offerings.
It's not going to pull Gap up and suddenly make Gap cool overnight. There's no coherence really between the core of Gap and the Yeezy products.
But early signs are promising for the brand. Overnight, interest in Gap skyrocketed after the collaboration with Yeezy was announced on June 26, 2020. Experts say West could have done this partnership with almost any brand, and the results would have been the same. But Gap gives West something higher-end competitors aren't able to, the opportunity to democratize his fashion designs.
And I think that's part of his aim, and to have a whole diversity of people, all different income levels, different backgrounds, to shop and enjoy his fashion. So I think if that...
But y'all already see that, right? Like, y'all see that the real problem is there's people camping out to buy all this stuff. So it's like, you know, a regular person that works a regular job ain't gonna be able to take off to go sit outside, and plus nobody wants to do that. I think like that's the real problem that all these companies gotta solve is the whole camping out, and I'm gonna buy as many pieces as I can just to resell it. Where it used to be like when I was a kid, it used to be that whatever Jordans, let's say the Concords, which are the most popular ones, Concords drop, you could walk right into the store on the 5th day, like 5 days after they drop. Yo, I want this size, boom, and that's it. And pay whatever the price was. Like, it doesn't matter what it is now. If it's hyped up, if it got a bunch of hype beasts behind it, you're not gonna be able to get your hands on it.
That happens, he'll see that as a great success as well.
With Gap's position as a mainstream American brand, West has a better chance of turning Yeezy into a household name. The partnership also has potential to convert younger Yeezy customers into Gap shoppers.
Someone within Gap should be looking strategically and saying, wow, look at all these Gen Z consumers who are coming to our website now. Because especially if something is sold out, the question is, well, then how do you get them to buy something else, an alternative?
I think it's obvious from a lot of the trends that we've seen over the last 10, 20 years that Kanye is definitely ahead of the wave. So I think a lot of shoppers want to be on that wave with him.
This kind of Yeezy lifestyle has become so big that I have my entire family wearing it, from my girlfriend to my daughter.
That's crazy. Off the top of my head, I mean, in this picture, I got those the phosphor Yeezys, the yellow ones, the 700s. I got the Wave Runners. I probably got like if I'm counting, maybe like 7 or 8 pairs. But those right there, right under that make it sign, those white ones look dope. I got the white with the blue, the beige with the blue. But those all white ones look fire.
To my grandmother, even my mom has a pair of Yeezy foam runners and multiple pairs of Yeezys in her own collection.
Word, man. But we gonna leave it there. Yeah, man. Hopefully, Gap is able to recover, because you never want to see like classic brands, just completely go out of business. But pay that man, because he's resurrecting y'all. Word. But we gonna leave it there. Let me know what y'all thought about the video in the comment section. What y'all thought about that bubble jacket without the zipper? I think it's fly. It's just not something that I would wear, but I'm from Harlem, so I already know like 5 different ways I'd be able to freak that. But yeah, man. My name is Rain. Catch you on the flip side. RCP salute. Wait for it. Dab on him.